good afternoon, and welcome to another office hours for the FastStore beta. My name is Victor, and I'm a software engineer here at VTEX. I'm currently working on the FastStore team, and I'll also be your host for today's event. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so our first section for today is the announcement section. And in this section, we'll be bringing you the latest news from the team to always keep you up to date with what we've been working on, some things that we might have changed, what got released, and even some cool events coming up, or just asking for some feedback. Okay, so let's go to the first one. The first one today is about an improvement in page loading times using incremental static builds. We kind of already showed you this in the last office hours. We showed you a demo of that, but now we actually have an announcement, and Pedro is here to talk to us a bit more about that. Hey, Pedro.
Hi, Victor. How are you?
Fine, you?
I'm great. So as you were saying, we have an improvement in page loading time with incremental static build as it was showed last week. But to officially announce it, well, incremental static build, for those of you who are not aware, is a hybrid server-side client-side rendering solution. And how it works is when you build your store website, it will only generate a few pages, the main pages. The product pages, which for some stores might get to hundreds or thousands of SKUs, those pages will not be generated at first. They will be generated once they are requested by any given shopper that visits your website and requests it. So after that first shopper, every user that gets to your store and requests for that same page will enjoy a much faster speed loading time. So there are two things you have to keep in mind if you want to enable that for your store, which is um, a deploy. Whenever you deploy a new version of your store, it will reset the caching status of all pages. So the next shopper that requests a given SKU page will trigger a regeneration of that page. And also be aware that once the page was requested by a shopper and it was generated, it will not be generated again by any, let's say, external content changes. So, for example, if you edit a given product's description in the VTEX platform on the CMS configurations and etc., this will not change on your website unless you redeploy the store. And so this will trigger, as I said earlier, the reset of the all status pages, all pages statuses, right? So all pages will have to be regenerated, and so the content will be updated according to what you just altered in your configuration. So in the announcement, we also have the details of how you can implement this using Gatsby or Next.js, whatever framework you are using in your store, you can implement this. Um, go to faststore.dev and you can see all the details of how to start using incremental static build. Okay, I guess that's it.
Awesome. That's great, Pedro. Thanks a lot for coming here and talk to us about that. And I would also like to point out that there is a demo of this feature in actually like working, and it goes a bit more into detail. And you can find that at the latest recording we have for the FastStore beta, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was Jimenez that brought a demo to us. So just to compliment it, but thanks a lot, Pedro.
Great, thanks for having me, Victor.
Sure, you're always welcome. See ya. Okay, so for the next announcement, there is a required action that needs to be taken for CMS users, for all of the headless CMS users, because we've recently launched VTEX headless CMS version 1.x, right? So a new major. And for this new version to properly work, we need you to also install the releases app, and like actually have it set up on your or your VTEX account. So here, like just to show you the announcement, it goes like it it tells you why did we do this, like what's the motivation behind the change, and it's basically to make sure that all of the updates that you make through the CMS are more reliable, and it like the behavior becomes a bit more predicted, uh, and you should not be surprised by like actions on the CMS affecting your story in unexpected ways. Okay, so just make sure to update the VTEX headless CMS app to 1.x and also configure the releases app. And in this announcement we have a guide that tells you exactly how to do that, because the releases is a new app, so you will need to manually install it and then set it up on your store. But all of the process is like documented here. Just follow the step by step, and you will be okay. Like you will be using the latest version of the headless CMS, and well, we hope you have a better experience. So it's recommended for everyone. Okay, awesome. So that's what we have for the CMS, and now we have one more announcement. This one is about some changes in the secured subdomain configuration. Uh, because well, we've noticed that some people that were trying to configure the like, especially the login and the checkout integrations, were having issues with like certificates and so on. So we made a change that we updated the documentation on that, and Jimenez is actually gonna tell us a bit more about that. Hey, Jimenez.
All right, cool. Hi, Miranda. How are you?
Fine, yeah.
Yeah, great. So, guys, so yeah, what I'm here to talk a little bit more about this announcement. Okay, so what changed? So, actually, what changed was the way that we integrate with other VTEX products like Checkout, My Account, and so on. And all right, so what did we use it to recommend before? So we use it to recommend for you guys to create a secure domain and point it directly to your account .vtexcommercetable on BR. But once you did this, you would get like these bad certificates here from Chrome. So before entering checkout or my account, your browser would tell that it's not secure. And of course, this is not acceptable. So we changed a little bit the way that you set up the secure domain. So instead of pointing secure directly to the text commerce table, now you should point secure to this secure.hostname.cdn vtexcom, and this should fix these private connection errors. And what needs to be done? So basically, you just follow the integration of FastStore and VTEX guide, and then it will be, and then you will have like the new steps. But basically, you just need to point secure to this new host name, and everything should be set up for you. And this annoying error should disappear. And so that's all.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. I mean, yeah, like it's not a good idea to have that right on your store, right?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Jimenez.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome. So that's actually all that we have for you today in terms of announcements. But if you want to keep up to date with everything that we've been working on, and well, just whatever gets released as soon as they do get released and announced, make sure to check out faststore.dev/releases. Okay, there you can find like the most up to date announcements that we have. Sometimes it even it usually comes out there before we bring it to the office hours, so you might get ahead like maybe 1 day or two. So there you go. Awesome. So let's go to the next section. All right. This is the Ask the Community section, and this section is all about you. It's all about our developer community. This is where we bring some of the questions from VTEX community here to the office hours, so that we can give more in-depth answers, more people get to see them, and we also tend to invite more people to come here to the office hours, and like you get to meet some of our team members as well. So that's great. Okay, so for the next question today, and then for quite a few ones, we have it's a question about saving and searching for product attachments. And well, since Icaro is the person who knows about attachments, he's here to tell us a bit more about that. Hey.
Hi, Victor. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. You?
So I'm good. I'm gonna comment about 4 questions you submitted on VTEX Community. The first 3 of them are related to product attachments, as Miranda said. The first one is from Lucas, and he wants to know how to save and search for product attachments on FastStore. And he asks if they have to use the VTEX headless APIs to do. So you need the VTEX RESTless API to search for which product attachments are available for a particular product. So when you're like showing on the product page the available attachments for that product, you need to implement it by extending the FastStore API schema. But when submitting this product to the cart, you can use the regular validate cart mutation we have on FastStore API, because last week we've added support to it. So now you can use the validate cart mutation for products with attachments. And you can add those attachments to the product by using the additional property field. And you configure that all based on our PRs that are updating the stars, and you'll be good to go. The second question related to attachments is about like telling products apart based on their attachments. And this question was submitted before we added support to attachments. So now that we have the support, everything should be fine and work properly. You just have to use the regular validate cart with mutation present on FastStore API. And the third one was an error when trying to add an item to the cart with an attachment. And once again, this question was asked before we added support to attachments. So it was expected that a few errors could arise. And now that we have support, I've asked Lucas to try again, and by like following our PRs on our stars, to try to replicate the same thing we did on his store, so he can successfully submit those attachments to the cart. Okay, so that's it for the first 3 questions related to attachments. The next question is from Brunite, and he wants to know why a large department throws an error when he accesses the page above 50. And so he says here that the store he's developing in has a large department with more than 10,000 products and 298 pages, and going above 50 breaks the page. And he noted that in other VTEX environments, such as Portal, this error is still there. So what I answered here is that we don't have a clear answer about why that is happening. But if that happens on the portal as well, we can like assure that's not a FastStore specific issue. Internally, we're searching for the explanation for that limitation, and probably it relies on the catalog APIs, but we'll bring news when we'll have it here on office hours regarding this question. All right, so I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Igor, for taking up like 4 of the questions. So that was great. I hope now that people have a better understanding of how attachments work in FastStore. I think this whole part about attachments is sometimes a bit confusing, right? So it
Yeah,
surely
for us
helps.
as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I hope like this was useful to everyone that's trying to use that. And just commenting on this last question as well, like I think this will come up sometimes, right? Like this is something that is kind of a limitation on our APIs, right? On like VTEX side, but not necessarily on FastStore, right? Like FastStore doesn't have a strong cap on how many pages you can have or anything like that. And I mean, it's good. I think it's good to always point out these differences. Or like, okay, in this, because there are different layers here, right? Like FastStore is like the kind of the highest level, right? And then these things are way below. So it's just good to have this separation. Like not everything will be like, oh, this just doesn't work on FastStore. Like sometimes, no, it's more like it depends on something else and so on, right? Awesome. Thanks a lot for coming here again. Thanks for your time, and we hope to see you here more often. I'll surely call you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
But awesome. So let's go to our next question. This one has actually been open for quite a while, and it's from Larissa. She asks a lot of questions in the community, and well, we love to have them, so keep them coming. But well, what was happening here is that she noticed a very strange behavior when trying to update the quantity of a certain item in the mini cart. Like you add the item to the cart, and then you increase its quantity, and up until a certain point, it works fine. But then sometimes like it might change to like in the example here, it's like we go like you add 1, you add 2, and then when you add the third, it goes back to 1. Like it's a bit confusing, or it goes back to 2. Like it's not very consistent. And then after like kind of looking into it, and she also provided more information because as I said, this has been open for a while. We actually noticed something that might be and we would also like to like get some feedback on that. Like this might be the reason, and Jimenez left an answer there also, so thanks. But the idea here is that when you're adding products that have this sort of promotion where it's like if you buy 3 of these, the like one of them comes for free, right? Like we have this is very common in stores in Brazil, like buy 3 and you only pay for 2 of them, so the third one is free, like kind of those kind of deals. But what happens in this case is that when we're looking at the items that are already in a cart, we try to split these items into what are actual like items that have a price on them, and what are considered as gifts. Just like we used to in like if you've developed a store in VTEX, I know this idea of gifts also exists like VTEX wide, right? Here it's a bit different because we kind of imply what is a gift and what is not a gift. Okay, so what happens is when you add the third item, the promotion gets applied, right? Like you have 2 items that will have a price, and the third item will come with price equals 0, right? So we're gonna split this item into like during the cart validation, we're gonna split this into 2 items and a gift. Okay, and that might cause inconsistency in how this information is displayed in the cart, because you will have to change the code on your store to accommodate for that, right? To like show both the gifts and the items. Here Jimenez also links to like where do we actually do that, and it's here. Okay, like this is just to give more context, this is inside the Next.js store. Gatsby store will be pretty much the same. Okay. What is important to note is that this is in the store and not like inside the FastStore repo. So it's not like this is something that you would do on your store. It's not something that already comes from the packages themselves. So you do have access to it. Like you can customize and do whatever you want. Here, for example, we're using the use card function the hook, which that comes from FastStore SDK. But like we're kind of creating our own use card, just like you would probably have already on your store, and then you would need to change it a bit. And like for default, we do this. Like we return this use memo, and as we're computing here, we get the card, the messages, and that, and then this is where this logic gets applied, right? Like notice that we split gifts and items. And when we have gift, we use this function called isGift, and then we check, like, is this a gift? It goes into gifts, and if it's not a gift, it goes into items. And this isGift function is right here inside of the validate this file, right? Validate source SDK card, and then validate. It's defined right here, is gift. And the logic that we use to check if this is a gift is just like, is the price 0? If this is a free item, then it's considered a gift, okay? But again, like this is included in your store's code, so you can change it. Like if this doesn't make sense for you, you can just come here and change it. It's not like you're not obligated to have this, or you can change the logic here. Like, no, for me, a gift is like, I don't know, there's a flag inside a product. There's a certain property that actually shows that this is a gift. So you have like complete freedom to handle gifts, or like if you want to split them, if you don't want to split them, you can do whatever you want, like inside your own store's code. Okay. So that's it. Like that's what we have for this question. Like it's important to notice that these two things, like this separation, actually exists. And also Jimenez points out that this cart.total items. So this here, this is what counts as like how many items do we have in the cart? Like this is the total items is the variable that stores this information, right? So if you have 3 products, but one of them is a gift, this total items will come out as 2. Okay, so that's why the quantity might not be aligned with what is actually on the order form and everything. Okay, so that's it. I hope that helps. Also, Larissa, please, after you try this out, like trying to make this work, knowing that this separation exists, please answer, like add an answer here so that we know if this actually worked or if we need to look into something else. Okay, so that's it. That's it for this question, and that's it for this section as well. And just a reminder, those were all the questions that we had lined up for you today, but you can like keep sending questions in VTEX community. Please like keep them coming. We love to bring them here, and we love to answer and get to like see the interaction inside the community. We've been seeing lately a lot of questions that are being answered by members of the community. So I mean, that's great. That's what we always hoped for. We're super happy to see that. And well, to make sure that your question gets featured here at the office hours, like if you want to tell us that, okay, I want my question to be featured in the office hours, and it makes our life much easier when we're selecting these questions to bring here to you, make sure to add the office hours tag in VTEX community to your questions, and then we'll bring them here and make sure that we answer them live. We'll probably like answer you there first and then bring it here to the office hours. But well, just feel free to add the office hours tag so that we can easily spot these questions when we're kind of assembling the schedule of the office hours. Okay, so there you go. Just a reminder. And moving on to the next section. All right, this is one of my favorite sections, if not the favorite section. And this is also the final section, and it's demo time. Today we actually have a demo, and it's about new features, new features being added to our starters. It's I mean, the title is new search features added to Gatsby and Next starters. And Felipe is here to present us and tell us a bit more about what is happening. And this is kind of a sneak peek, right?
Yeah, exactly, Victor. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm here just to show a quick glimpse of what's coming next in our starters. We've been working on integrating more features to our search inputs that we have on our stores up here. So as of now, we are displaying like users can search for some terms for some products, and we are currently only showing some suggested products and suggested terms. And in this pull request, we are adding the two new features to this search, which is search history. We will keep track of like 4 or 5 of less searched terms the user searched, and also we are including a top five searches, and like when you click on the search input, will give you this. If you have some history, we will show there, and we also show the top 5 most searched terms, and it's this. We are still in this process of reviewing this pull request. It should be, I think, by the end of next week, definitely we will have this merged to both our Next and Gatsby starters. And just to give you a quick glimpse of how this feature works, if you go here in the search input, wait, let me refresh this page just in case. We actually won't have many top searches listed here because this feature comes from our intelligent search API, but I think it's based on the real searches done in our store. So since we are using this specific store for our starter, which is, I think I don't remember now what is the account. So here you can see that as of now, we only have one top search, which is cotton, this term, but it's all done like in the background by our search services. So it's not showing all the top 5 because this, as I said, this store isn't being heavily like used. So the searches are actually being heavily like categorized, but they will show up here like the top 5 searches. And as you search through the store, all your previous search terms will also show up here in this section. So you can quickly jump back to a previous search term, or even a product. If you search for a product and you go back and you want to go back to it, it will be here readily available here in this drop down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As I said, we are in the process of like doing some other adjustments to the pull request, but it should be available, I think, next week. That's all pretty much what I had to show today.
Awesome. That was great, Felipe. And this is kind of like I said that it was kind of a sneak peek because it's not out yet, right? But
Yeah.
it's almost there. It's almost there. That's awesome. And just a question as well. Like this PR specifically is open on Gatsby.store, right? But it will probably be on Next, like after it, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are always keeping both repositories in Pink. So once this gets merged, we will open the one for Next.js as well.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. And I think this would be very useful for everyone, because like this looks like something that a lot of stores usually have, right? Like it's like search suggestions, stuff, searches. So I think this will be a great like starting point for all of the new stores, or even for existing stores, right? Like they can see the pull request and then like kind of translate that into their own stores.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. And also we have kind of a plus there, right? Because like having this drop down and search suggestions and everything, there's a bit of debouncing involved there, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's funny
how?
because this is actually something that came up during the code review. I was using the bounce package to do this bounce, which is usually used like with out suggestions inputs. And it's something that Jermaine is suggested for us to take a look, which is a new React 18 feature called Use Deferred Value. It's a new hook from React 18. It's basically can be used very similar as the bounce function. It will kind of give tell React to like calculate that value with less priority. So it was and it was nice timing because we had updated to I think React 18 not so long ago, and we were able to avoid using an extra package to do something that React already provided for us.
Yes, that's great,
Yeah.
because like React 18 is pretty new, right? So
Yeah.
that's also great for everyone to see that like we're using the latest versions of React, and also like the latest features that they're coming up. And this is also great for the performance of the store, right? Like it doesn't hurt performance. So that's great. I hope everyone takes a look at it, and it also looks great, like the styling on everything. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm very excited to have this merged in a bit and to see
Yeah.
that on both stores. That's great. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Felipe, and also great work on implementing this.
Thank you. You were one of the ones that helped with this. I think you were the one who implemented the top search for the API. So thank you, Miranda.
Thanks. That's great. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit, and hope to have you here in office hours more often. I'll certainly call you as well. Awesome. But okay, so that's what we have for you today in terms of demos. I'm looking at the chat. We don't have any questions so far. So I'll keep moving on and just extending an invite to everyone. Like this whole thing, like this whole office hours thing, we do this for the community, so it's for you. So the demo is also a place for you to come here and show us the cool things that you're doing, whatever it is. Like maybe like the store we're working on just went live, and you want to show everyone about it. Maybe you created a new starter now that we have the community starter section on FastStore.dev. Or maybe you just solved the problem that like while implementing your store, or you came up with a clever solution to implement something like, I don't know, like this search suggestions. Now you don't have to, because now we have a default one. But I mean, like different solutions and everything that you did that might be cool and you want to show to everyone. Please, you're more than invited to come here and present to us. Not to us, sorry, to everyone. We would love to have you here. And how can you do that? You just have to fill in the form that you can find at community.vtex.com/office hours beta. Describe what you're thinking about presenting, and we'll reach out to you. And again, you're more than welcome to come here and present to everyone. Okay, we would love to have you. Awesome. So with that, this was the office hours for the FastStore beta. Thanks everyone for coming here, listening to us talk about FastStore, sending questions in the community, just keep them coming, keep the engagement on, and we'll see you next week. So bye everyone.